Oh, qualifying hasn't started. I'm just.
No. Yeah. Okay,
I mean,
I was making sure. I was worried I was lagging.
okay, I can't tab into the game apparently because my mouse constantly just jumps to the left. This is wonderful. We've got time to do the
Wait,
trailer, I think.
GT4 quali has started.
Still says what's it called? Session is ended on my screen. That's why. Sorted. Let's find all the GT4s out there.
Yep. Okay, so looks like Konos is is the first one on track. We've got Falzetti following him, along with Kevin.
Wait, Kevin's in a GT4? Kevin's in a GT4. I didn't even recognize this.
Yeah, we've got two Astons, and a
KTM that looks like a toy
KTM.
car.
Yes. I am so excited that Konos is running the KTM this season. I have not seen it really run much, and I think that's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm definitely as much as I'll make the jokes of it looking like a toy car, which it really does. It really does.
It really,
I am
yeah.
excited to see what a KTM can bring to the track to the compared to the other what's it called Aston Martins.
It really looks like someone took the crossbow and was like, we need to make this actually enclosed. And then this is what happened. I don't know if that's good or not,
From
though.
my experience, lack of experience, Hungary, the only corners that I thoroughly struggle with is corner 4 and then the right-left chicane of 6 and 7, mostly because of the curbs. But I've never tried it in the GT4, so I'm curious to know how they handle those corners.
I did practice laps in the GT4. I did not race Hungary in the GT4 last season. Now I was running the Porsche, which is very sensitive to curbs, and like as you see Konos is taking a lot of meat on the curbs on entrance and exit around 5 and 6 here. You can't the apex of 6 you cannot hit. That's a no-go. And then like right through here, you can hit those curves, but you gotta avoid the sausage curbs like Konos just ran over, at least in the Porsche. But I know that car is a lot more sensitive to curbs. It looks like this car's set up pretty well.
Finn, you're racing GT3 now this season, aren't you?
I'm not racing this season.
No, Vin's saying that the GT4 is a pain in turn 4 and the chicane. I know he raced GT4 last season. Unfortunate technical troubles, which threw him out of the contention of the win for the championship.
It was actually it was Hungary that he was not able to race last year.
Oh no!
That was the first race that threw him out, and I felt terrible for him.
Oh
He was
no!
leading the championship by like 20 points, and
it's fine. I've contracted him for
season.
Ferrari race engineer. I trust that he'll get the victory in Hungary this season.
I think he'll do well. He's a really good driver, and I enjoyed racing with him last season.
I enjoyed racing with the GT4s in a GT3. That was the extent of my race last season. Season 2 was my first ever season with Phoenix. Oh, why has it changed this thing? And then stop giving me the pit menus when I'm trying to spectate them, please. Thank you. Season 2 is my first ever at Monza. Closest I got to racing was a drag race with Maverick when he came to lap me, and I missed my braking zone into corner 1. My second race with Phoenix was Misano, last season's debut race.
Okay.
We don't talk about that race. I think I scored 2 points and that was about it. And got involved in that massive first lap incident. And then this season, I don't think I'm going to race at all this season.
Okay. I did not race Misano last season. It was the season opener, and I had something come up that Saturday, and it was very upsetting because I was excited to start the new season and wasn't able to. It also definitely put a hamper on my championship points because I was finishing well every race, but I wasn't able to race that one, which set me back quite a bit.
Vin, I don't remember racing you on lap 1 at Misano. I genuinely... I mean, then again, it was like, what, 3 months ago now at this point.
Right.
But... Oh, yeah. No, I remember there was quite... I mean, I was racing everyone first lap 1, and then I ended up going into the front of James's car after he had the unfortunate spin. Now, as we go into the 12th minute, with the new regulations, which I actually quite like this change. Dare I say, well, I say dare I say, I'm going to take the credit for this one because it was my idea, I think. Now, as we approach into the 11th minute, GT4s have to finish the final lap, or, well, it's 2 minutes per lap, so they've got this
this will
lap
be
and
the
then one more, potentially one more if, they get to the line in time, before the GT3s come out and the GT4s dive in to grab themselves a cup of tea.
Falsetti might be able to get another lap in, but I doubt that anyone else will. Konos is right on his heels, but Happy Face he's over second back. He's really struggling with this.
I think Happy Face, he's gone from the Audi in GT3 last season to the AMR
Yeah,
this season, so it's definitely a huge step down in terms of pace.
it
But
is,
from
and
what everyone's told me, the control of the car is a lot higher.
yeah, I hear that the Aston is a really good car on this track, especially. And if you'll remember, Falsetti was setting absolutely killer laps at this track last season, which was only a few weeks ago. I believe that was round 6, so it wasn't that long ago. So this track is still fresh in his mind. He's got the same car under him. He's definitely, I would say he's definitely the heavy favorite at this point.
And here comes the toy car rounding the final chicane. Unfortunately, invalid lap.
Ooh,
But I think he
that's
might
not good.
he might actually reach the line before 10 minutes, be able to start his final flying lap.
He's gonna be close.
Cross the line, there we go.
Yep,
4 seconds left.
he's good. And
Ugh, now I gotta go
Falsetti will
through.
not. Falsetti
Yeah.
will not be there.
Here comes all of the GT3 drivers. Maverick leading the pack out of the pits. I have to say, there's a lot of nice custom liveries, but out of all of the custom liveries, Maverick's got the least custom of liveries.
He does, but I
Sporting
honestly
just
love it.
orange and black. It
Yeah.
works. He is the McLaren TP, but also Ferrari better, dare I say. I'm not being biased, I promise. And unfortunately, Timbo has just woken up, so he's missed the GT4 race, or the qualifying. But he might... I'm not sure if we've... I think we do have mid-session join, so he might be able to join in.
Looks like Konos is abandoning this lap. He just went wide through that last corner to let the GT3s by. So looks like your starting order for the GT4s will be Falsetti, Konos, and Kevin. Interesting that Zur pushed ahead of Maverick to try and be first across the line.
Perhaps just a bit impatient. To be fair, I would as well. I would want to get the first lap in whilst you've got a clear track ahead of you.
That's fair.
You've
I just
got
feel
what?
like if in his position, if there was any chance that Maverick was faster, I would not want to be in his position because I wouldn't want him to be breathing down my neck, because that's going to make, even on a qualifying lap, I feel like that's going to make you
Equally,
nervous.
it could be a tactic. If Zur knows he's slightly slower than Maverick, if he's ahead doing his hot lap, Maverick knows he can't push it because he'll catch up to the car ahead of him. So it's damaging Maverick's first hot lap.
Well, that's true. That's definitely a possible strategy as well. Most of the rest of the field is doing pretty good at separating.
Unfortunately, though, Zur's actually invalidated his lap time already.
I think I saw him run wide in turn
As
1.
Maverick also
Unfortunately.
goes wide turn 5, or turn 4, sorry.
Ooh.
Behind him is Jay Kelly, the second of the BMWs. His last lap, of course, not actually being his last lap, 47 minutes. Best fast lap there, out there. Hello, Armin. Armin. Sorry. I can do English, I promise. I've had my coffee. I'm not gonna struggle to speak English or stay awake. Now, although we haven't got the different tiers for Pro and AM, I still have this feeling that the podium steps for the race will still be the same group of drivers. I say that without recognizing still, though, there are new GT3 drivers. We have It's Over 9,000 for the first time, I believe.
Yes.
Zor in a first time in a while to have joined. Kelly putting in a 146.9. Falkenberg in the GT3. I'm getting words out my mouth somehow. God, I'm struggling. Who else is new? I don't actually recognize any other new names than those two.
I believe Almeida is not new, but he hasn't raced since Zandvoort last season.
Okay.
And he was racing GT4 that time, so we haven't seen him. I haven't seen him drive a GT3.
Oh, and
Whoa.
Spinner does have a spinner. Fortunately, I don't
was a
think
massive overcorrection, and looks like he might have really messed up Falkenberg's lap because he did that right in front of Falkenberg, and looks like he might have.
Let's hope not. Let's hope he's not got
might have slowed him down.
terrible damage. I mean, it's not like F1 where you pit and then you end up spending like 7 minutes waiting for your car to be repaired.
That is true.
Ackerman out on a lap, unfortunately, invalidated lap.
Oh,
Still improving though.
over 9,000 spun. The McLarens are really having a hard time.
They are. Shanae going into the second sector now. 0.3 up on his previous lap, but his previous lap was, I'm guessing, invalidated. So if he's currently looking at a 1:44.8 at the moment, which is, I think, a pole time at the moment.
It is, because the Oosby just set a 1:44.9.
He's looking at 1:45.3 now. Shanae on a killer lap, but he does have a car ahead of him. Hopefully that driver does not get in the way. It's a J Spinner. Oh, there we go. He pulls to the side and out of the way.
Yeah, he had an invalidated lap anyway because of the turn 3 incident.
1.5 seconds up. Could this be a sub 1:44 lap?
Oosby just set a 1:44.67. That is a really impressive lap right
Around
there.
the final corner.
Let's see what
Shanae
1.7,
1.8 seconds up on his previous lap. Across the line. It's a 1:44.5. I can't do maths. I thought it was going to be a sub 1:44.
Wow, 1:44.54.
Still impressive.
0.13 seconds up on the timing sheet. The Shanae and Oosby are on fire right now. Their next closest competitor is Maverick at 1.3 seconds.
I can't find Ackerman. There he is. Ackerman, unfortunately, no longer racing under the #1 car number, as he didn't win the championship last season. He won it in Season 2, held it for Season 3, but Oosby snatched it from him, basically from the third race onwards last season. So now Oosby reps, I think, the #1. And it's not mandatory. It's optional, like F1.
He's currently repping the 29.
I think he's going to stick with his 29. And not pull a Max Verstappen and run the #1.
I mean, it worked for Verstappen, but I feel like if I were in his shoes, I might stick with my.
I'd stick with my number. Why change to a new number? You're on the risk of it
Yeah,
being unlucky.
definitely. Oosby just set a new fastest lap.
Of course he did. Ackerman's across the
Over
line.
over 2.5 tenths faster. Ackerman
That does not help
setting a
Ackerman.
setting a really fast lap as well, though.
I do believe we have a few drivers who are still yet to set a lap. We've got another BMW, who, as you mentioned
But
before, is a name I do not
Boscata,
recognize.
yes.
And then we do have S. Almeida in the Ferrari still to set a lap. Let's have a quick look. I have no clue who it could be.
Looks like most of the cars crossing the line now are not going to be able to finish the lap and complete one more. So for the cars
54.
that are on the main straight, it looks like it will probably be their last push lap.
That's Falkenberg, last across the line.
Falkenberg, Almeida, I believe, and Boscata may be able to get another lap in. Where is he on the track?
I think all the way down to S. Almeida, they'll be able to make... No, not S. Almeida. Well, actually, no, potentially.
Boscata will have one more lap after this one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Boscato, I guess. Sounds Italian.
Boscata. I don't know. No, that's an A. Boscato. I don't know why I'm putting an accent on it. 8th place for the BMW driver, though.
Hey, that's
So
pretty
that's a
good.
1st, 5th, and 8th for the BMWs, but I do not believe this BMW is in the Pro BMW team. We have a rogue BMW.
I'm trying to learn which cars in the GT3 are the faster ones, because I mean I've only seen racing GT4 last season. I only really saw Uzabi win, and he was driving the BMW, and that seems to be the preferred car of the faster car. Whoa, Shanae just set a lap time that's 5 thousandths ahead of Uzabi. He might be our pole sitter.
I'm not surprised. Shanae does somehow... And he's just casually chilling in the pits after that lap. You know what? Fair enough.
Fair enough.
That's the end of qualifying, so anyone who's not out on the track already will not be able to put in another lap time. Spinner does not
Uzabi's
improve.
going on his very last lap here.
Falkenberg improves up into 9th place. The last person... Oh no, we've still got loads of people to still cross the line. Next person to cross the line will be Boscato. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. I say it'd be funny, it'd probably be embarrassing if we've been pronouncing it wrong this entire time. We'll have to find out after the stream.
He'll after the stream he'll be like, no, the S and C are silent.
Vin, that was a very good lap. Well done. 6/10
That
up.
was a very impressive lap.
Boscato, 6/10 up, improves up into 5th place. Next across the line will be Oosby. No,
So
he's going to dive into the pits. Ackerman as well into the pits. Who's next? Just Shay, unfortunately not on a hot lap.
BMWs have the first and third rows locked out. That's going to make an interesting start here.
Sinister is next across the line. Unfortunately not improving, coming across the line 3/10 down on his previous best. It's over 9,000 into the pits. And that's it. That's all of the drivers.
Shanae, your pole sitter by
Shanae,
5,000 of a second. That is insane.
that is incredible. Let's grab a quick screenshot of the results. Insane lap.
Looks like Kevin's going to have a lot of work to do. He's almost a second behind Konos in the GT4 category. But I would be surprised if Falzetti didn't run away with this one, to be completely honest. As much as I saw him do that last season, I think he's gonna do quite well this race.
Dante, welcome. We're racing. Actually, yeah, we're racing now. We're not commentating anymore. We're racing ACC. Now we're streaming ACC, the first race of the season at Hungary, with dry weather. I was honestly hoping for wet weather at Hungary. That would be so much fun to watch.
That would be a lot of fun.
It'd be
I
chaos.
know a lot of the people were, a lot of our drivers were skipping out on rain races and didn't like it, but I don't. I love the rain races because they just add such an interesting twist to the how you race and who's on the top of the leaderboards.
Indeed.
They're my favorites by far.
Here we go. All the drivers on the grid. Let's hit drive to get rid of all of those weird menus on our screen. I have to say, Sinead with that lap, I know it's not unexpected, but it's still unexpected at the same time.
It's
Hopefully,
very
Sinead doesn't have a magic trick disappearance like he did at the last night race we had. I think it was Nürburgring. He was leading the race by about 2 or 3 tenths, and then poof, like that, he was gone. He just got disconnected from the game and lost the race there. Very
I don't
unfortunate.
remember that one. That
I
is
think it was
extremely
Nürburgring.
unfortunate.
I just remember spectating. I was commentating on Oosby, and then to the left of my screen, Sinead's white car just went poof.
Ooh.
So, but yeah, now whilst we wait for the race start, couple things to note that I do love and I do look forward to for this race. One thing I'm not looking forward to is unfortunately Zur, who qualified in 8th and had a brilliant lap for that position, does have a drive-through to serve within the first 3 laps of the race. But the interesting part for this season is everyone has to do a mandatory stop. You don't have to change tyres, you don't have to change fuel or increase your fuel, but you have to do one stop. The window only opens for 10 minutes at the halfway mark of the race. So it'll be interesting to see what people do if people do decide to do the underfueling, because I think Maverick posted some information about this somewhere. And when I was reading on it, it was saying that if you in a 45-minute race, if you take 50% fuel and refill, you lose 10 seconds in the pits. But if you take 100% of the fuel and you don't refill in the race, you lose 5.25 seconds in the pits. So in a 45-minute race, you're better off taking more fuel than you do less.
Interesting.
But in a 1-hour race, you lose time. No, wait. No, even in a 1-hour race, sorry, I can't read properly. In a 1-hour race, you also lose time.
All right, here we go for the start.
Who do you think is going to be able to take the first place out of the first corner? I think Sinead's going to be able to defend this still.
He's got all the advantages, but I just
he's got
the
inside line and he's managed to keep his position. But we do have the Porsche of Ackerman looking to the inside, but unfortunately not close enough. Sinead down the inside, maintaining his position.
He does. Oosby.
Oh, there's a massive collision at the back. Almost massive collision.
Ackerman Oosby. Jachet peeks through here.
I think
Oosby
that was
the inside.
No, there's Jachet sideways.
Jachet down. Oosby's in the mix. Oosby falling way back in the pack here.
He is, and the other BMW.
Oh, another collision.
Oh yeah, I've just saw that at the back of the grid there.
It's over 9,000. Just
Sinister going wide.
Pitted.
So Sinead leads. Bosgato finds himself up 4 places. Maverick up to 3rd. Ackerman down to 4th.
Both Kelly and Oosby way back there.
Oosby,
7th and 8th.
I'm
Falkenberg off.
So confused to what happened there.
Off at the chicane.
Bosgato going wide there out of, I don't know what corner number there is. There's trying to work out what happened first. It's my confusion. Oosby's up into 6th place again. Here. Kelly, obviously being the good teammate that he is, will let Oosby through, knowing Oosby is the faster driver to regain those positions. Falkenberg doesn't appear to have any damage on the front of his car. S. Almeida the same. Joshe with a lot of damage, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does pit for damage repair for his one mandatory stop.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Joshe with a brilliant move as well, round the inside on Jay Spinner, finds himself now up into 10th place. Spinner looking to make a move down this main straight again, going down the inside, managed to make it well before the braking zone.
Gear.
But Joshe with a switchback, and unfortunately Sinister finds himself going, oh sorry, not Sinister, Spinner finds himself going deep on the brakes there.
Looks like he just missed his braking point, to be honest. What happened to Konos? I don't see him.
Yeah, I've just noticed that. We've only got two GT4s.
15 drivers. I don't know what happened to Konos.
I really hope he's not had an internet trouble like Ackerman was having earlier and has disconnected.
I was so looking forward to seeing that KTM.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see the toy car.
Back.
Is ACC playable with a Club Sport F1 wheel? I do not know. JK, do you know? I would suspect any wheel, really.
Assume so. I drive with a McLaren GT3 wheel on a Club Sport hub, and I'm assuming that a F1 wheel wouldn't be that different, just because it's still a Formula style and still, you know, fairly similar as far as size. I would assume it would be fine.
Now as we come to the line to start the second lap of the race. Second lap? Yeah, second lap. We've got Ackerman all over the rear wing of that Audi for as he flashes his lights at Maverick. Really trying to get that position. Unfortunately, oh, he does look
Maverick
to the inside.
Does not defend.
But he doesn't make the dive down the inside. Honestly, I would have expected Ackerman to make the dive there. He's one to always go late on the brakes.
Neither one were very late on the brakes here, and from the Monza race, I know that Maverick does tend to be a little early on the brakes sometimes, and so I'm surprised that Ackerman didn't take advantage of that.
Dante, there's always a seat available for ACC. We could easily have 50 drivers on the server if we wanted to.
Who's be trying to go up the outside of Burr into turn 6 here?
Maverick going wide as well. Sinead looks to go for a move down the inside. Unfortunately, wasn't close enough to capitalize on Maverick's mistake there. Trexie, yeah, Sinead is a goat. He's now 3 seconds ahead. But unfortunately, that is mostly because Ousby found himself in the midst of a collision, lap 1 collision. And so now Ousby's fighting his way back up. He does have a hefty amount of damage on his car.
I imagine so. He basically T-boned Joshe after Joshe spun, and that cannot be good.
I wonder how much time he's losing because of that damage.
I'm not sure. He seems to be all over the back of Zur here, but I think I'm seeing him with a lot of understeer issues. I feel like he's missing some of the apexes. That's usually due to understeer, which would make sense if he's got front end damage.
Oh, Zur's gone. Zur's been disqualified because he didn't serve his drive-through in the first 3 laps of the race, crossing the line. Ousby's now up into 5th place, and there goes Zur.
Oh, that is heartbreaking because I'm sure he just forgot about that and it's gone. Oh, that's terrible. Ackerman still hasn't made the move on Maverick here. A half second back, and Uzubi 3.2 seconds back from Ackerman. I'll bet that distance is going to close quickly.
I can't see if Ackerman's got damage. I don't think he does. I think it's just a matter of it's Hungary. He's struggling to make the overtake work.
There is not a lot of great overtakes here. The best overtakes really are into turn 1 or into turn 14 down towards the end of the lap. And both of those are just a really dangerous dive bomb on the brakes.
Trexie, this game is very nice, especially with all the custom liveries. Like, it just looks spectacular. You should join. Trexie, you know, the ACC is a lot of fun.
And it's on sale right now.
Exactly. Not sponsored by Steam, but it's on sale. Go grab your game now.
Most of the packs are like, what, 70, 80% off right now?
Something like that. Let's look at the announcements
Actually,
quickly. ACC DLCs are 60% off for the majority of them. Challenger pack is 25% off, and the American Track pack is 20% off. The base game is 70% off.
so if there is ever a time that's to get into ACC, it's definitely now. They are Maverick and Ackerman have caught up to Moscato now. They're all over the back of him as well. So it's turning into a three-way battle for second here, and Uzabi is just 2.2 seconds off, which is a second less than he was a lap ago. He shaved off a second to Ackerman in the last lap. I'll bet he's going to be in that fray for second place here shortly. Falkenberg's caught up to Jachet. I think Jachet took some damage, and I don't believe he pitted, so he's probably going to be a bit slow here. Exactly. That's the interesting part to me about the strategy. Now, I wasn't involved in discussions about the extra pit stop, adding the pit stop, but the fact that you can't do it until the halfway point of the race and that you only have a 10-minute window is very interesting to me, because it's my understanding that most pit strategies you want as wide of a window as possible so that when you get into traffic you can pit. And it's very interesting that that window is only 5 to 6 laps long. That's not giving a lot of leeway for strategy, so it's going to make that very interesting.
I think it'll definitely be something for us to discuss, because I think even for me, even though I'm not racing, I think it should be open from the get-go, because otherwise people who've got damage now can go in the pits but won't technically serve their mandatory one pit stop because it's not in that pit window.
Right.
I'm not actually sure how that works.
Yeah, I don't really know why they did that, but I'll be interested to see how it shapes
Pans out, yeah.
Yeah. Uzabi's shaved off another second to Ackerman. By the end of this lap, he's going to be all over the back of him.
And Ackerman's still not able to get past.
He's not able to get past Maverick, and Maverick still hasn't been able to get past Moscato. They're all three just... if it was F1, it would be a DRS train, but they're just in a train.
They're in a train, unfortunately. There's no KTM in that train.
Unfortunately not. Falkenberg's still trying to get around Jachet, but having a very difficult time of it.
Jachet with a hefty amount of damage too.
He really does have a lot of damage. He seems very slow right now. How much you've raced GT3, right?
Yeah.
How much does front end damage affect your top speed?
It depends on how severe, but you can certainly lose like a good couple seconds with severe front damage.
Okay, that's one thing I discovered, and now I believe I actually had front wheel damage at one point during Zandvoort, but it completely killed my front line speed and straight line speed, and I wasn't able to draft or make pass on the straights. But I wonder if Jachet has a speed disadvantage, if Falkenberg's gonna try and set up a pass on the main straight at some point. Uzabi up the inside of Ackerman here. He's making it stick up the inside. This is gonna put him in the outside for turn 3. This is got too wide into turn 3 here.
Oh.
Ooh, can they both make that stick?
I think Uzabi's...
Or are they gonna go
for... they've
contact.
had contact. Ackerman controls his car, though.
Very impressive slide control from Ackerman there. That will probably be looked at after the race for a possible avoidable contact here. Though, too wide through that corner is just not going to end well 9 times out of 10. Uzabi lost a lot of time to Maverick from that incident, though. Trexie, have you tried turning the graphic settings down? I've got a pretty baseline computer as well, and I basically just have to run really terrible graphics. If you're watching it on my screen, it would not be nearly as pretty as it is on stream.
I think even for me, I'm only running it at like half for it, as we've had another disconnect. Who's just disconnected?
Oh.
I think it's over 9,000. I don't see him in the list anymore.
I believe you're right.
We've lost James. We've lost. It's over 9,000.
We've lost 3 people right now. Now, one of them was due to a DQ. That's fair.
Yeah, that's Zora.
Right.
So that's the 3 gone.
Oh, Falkenberg makes a move into turn 1. Falkenberg's around Jashay, and I believe he's got it clean now. I don't think Jashay has a chance of getting him back into this.
No, I think that damage is too damaging to his lap times.
Yeah, I think that's just too much. So Falkenberg finally gets around Jashay.
Jashay setting 148 with the last lap being a 150. And the Ferrari's last lap being a 149 with the best being a 147. So definitely not helping his lap times.
Definitely not. Uzby is all over the back of Maverick now, and with him defending, Biscotto's kind of run away from Maverick.
I don't know how Uzby does this. He's got so much damage to his car as Maverick goes wide. Uzby's got so much damage to his car, and he's still able to catch up so quickly.
This is really incredible to watch. Ackerman's trying to keep up with him and doing a pretty good job of it. But I think the writing's on the wall for Maverick, and I'm pretty sure he knows it. Biscotto, though, getting a 1.2 second lead ahead of Maverick, so even once Uzby gets around Maverick, he's gonna take him a couple more laps.
Is he going for the move?
He's
going for the move!
Contact
between the two of them.
Uzby runs way wide there.
Ackerman capitalizing on that contact and finds himself up into 3rd place. Brilliant move by Ackerman. Unfortunate between Maverick and Uzby there.
Uzby just I don't know if he locked up or what, but he just drove straight through that apex. And Maverick didn't really have anywhere to go.
Now we've got ourselves a train again, but it looks like Ackerman might be able to pull away from this one, because Maverick will have to defend like a lion from Uzby.
And I believe both Ackerman and Uzby are a little bit faster than Maverick, because they've been able to catch back up to him every time he's gotten a little bit away. Ooh, Uzby is, man, he is so aggressive right now. Just trying to claw back those seconds, those positions.
I mean, the win is slowly slipping from his hands. We do still have the one mandatory pit stop for everyone to go, but Uzby has got a lot to climb back.
And at this point, it is Shanae's race to lose.
Maverick almost losing the rear end of his car coming out of that corner as well. I should know corner numbers off the top of my head, but I don't. That's turn 12, I think. Yeah, that's the right-hander.
I believe the right-hander at the bottom of the hill, that's turn 14, I think.
14's the chicane, 13's right before the pit entrance, and then 12's the right-hander. That's all of 3rd sector. And Shanae's now like 2 corners away, or 1 corner away from lapping the GT4s.
But Shanae's in clean air, and the GT4s aren't fighting, so I don't foresee that being.
And that's Ackerman's all over the rear wing of Boscato as well.
He's caught right up to him. He's gonna.
I thought he was gonna go for a move there, but I didn't.
Massive defense moves right here if he wants to retain this position.
So now we're looking at a 4-car fight with a sandwich of the two.
Oosby up the inside into the chicane. Can he make it stick? He does. Oosby through to fourth
Very
place.
risky, very brilliant, very smooth move. I don't know what the word to use to describe there.
All of those adjectives fit quite nicely.
Now Ackerman has to make the
sud.
move now or never, because if he doesn't attack, he's going to have to defend.
Exactly.
And I've only just noticed Oosby's custom number plate. Too fast for you. Indeed, he is too fast. There we go. Pit window is now opening. Open for 10 minutes. Who are we going to see dive in the pits? Ackerman in the pits, serving it now.
Immediately, as well as Maverick. Both Ackerman and Maverick immediately into the pits here. Leaves Oosby to fight down, chase down.
Oh, it looks like Maverick was trying to go for the overtake into the pits as well.
Oh, didn't quite make it work.
Kelly as well into the pits.
Sinead just got around Falzetti, so he's got clean air again for quite a while. Sinead has, yeah, he got a half track of clean air ahead of him.
Falkenberg avoiding Jachet as well. To my surprise, Jachet's not going into the pits.
That's honestly very shocking.
Sinister into the pits. He's definitely got a lot of damage. I'm not surprised Sinister would go. Next come round, we've got Spinner going for the pits as well. Alsamida, so that's Switcher. He's going not into the pits. He's going to take the position. Who's next? Falzetti going through the chicane, and Happy Face. I suspect, I don't think the GT4s are going to follow the pits along with the GT3s. I think if anything, they might leave it closer to the end.
Yeah, I think they probably will, as well as Sinead, because Sinead has a lot of clean air in front of him. I don't think he's going to want to pit until either the end of the pit window or he catches lap traffic. Of course, that might happen now since Spinner and
I've only just noticed what happened to Ackerman. Why is he went into the pits first ahead of Maverick, but now Maverick's apparently ahead of him?
Did Ackerman have damage? Could he have taken some damage on?
Potentially, I think he did have damage, which will explain why Maverick now is, I would say, in the lead in terms of F1, but I don't think he is in the lead for F1. Falzetti pits first of the GT4s. Happy Face just crossing the line. So Happy Face now takes the lead of the GT4 race, I believe. Yeah, he does.
He does. Now this is going to be very interesting for Sinead because he's got another 7.5 minutes to pit, and he's now closing in on the back of Spinner. So my guess would be as soon as he catches him, he's going to jump into the pits because
continue to increase that gap.
The more clean air, the better for him.
Do fresh tires affect the car's performance on a track as much as they do in F1?
I don't think so. I have not seen a lot of tire drop-off, at least in the GT4s, around for 45 minutes. As a matter of fact, some of my fastest laps have come towards the end of the race on low fuel, so I don't think that's going to be enough of an advantage to change tires. But because this is a new strategy, we could see some people trying it.
Sinead's already one corner away from Jay Spinner there.
We might see him dive into the pits this lap, actually. And Oosby has not pitted either, so he might inherit the lead here.
No, Sinead is not going for the pits. I think he's going to leave it right until the last moment and just continue to try and increase that gap if he can.
I bet he is. Also, I did not notice this, but Oosby got around Boscato without too much drama, apparently.
So he did.
Which isn't entirely surprising.
I think, if anything, if Oosby does decide to pit for damage, which I don't think he will, I think he's going to try and manage the damage to secure at least a second place. I think Sinead's waiting for Oosby to dive in the pits, and then he pushes like crazy and pits afterwards.
I think that's probably true.
But then
Of
he
course,
runs the risk of Oosby pitting right before the pit window closes, and then Sinead's in trouble.
right. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that both Oosby and Sinead have clean air right now, so neither of them are going to be inclined to pit until lap traffic, which Sinead is about to catch. So if I were Sinead, oh, lap traffic yields. Okay. So
Which
now
is fair
Sinead
enough.
really has no re that's a good move from is that Spinner? I believe that was
Yeah.
Spinner. Yeah. Good job on his part to stay out of the mess here. Now as Sinead, honestly, just wait till the end of the pit window
I
to
think,
probably force you and him and Uzabi to pit at on the same lap
yeah, I think
and
if Spinner had
risk any
fought that
positions.
though, if Spinner had fought Sinead, then he would be inclined to fight Oosby when he catches up, which would hurt his race.
It would hurt both of their races, and I don't know whose it would have hurt more, but it, I
Not
believe.
Sinead's going
Oh,
in the pits.
Sinead diving into the pits here. Let's see what Uzabi does as
As
he
we
rounds
have
that
Falkenberg coming out of the pits now.
penultimate corner. Uzabi stays out.
So Oosby's going to inherit the lead of the race now, but if he doesn't make
Moscato
a
into the pits.
brilliant in lap, he's going to lose it again.
Well, even if he has as amazing of an in-lap as possible, I don't think he's going to gain more than a few seconds, which he's over 11 seconds off of. Sinead was over 11 seconds, so I don't
Boscato, I
think,
believe, yeah. Boscato's in the pits as
yeah,
well.
Moscato moved into the pits. I don't think Usabi has a chance of pulling an undercut here. He just maybe has a chance of minimizing that deficit to Sinead.
Right, Sinead's now out of the pits. And I think he's going to be about 30 seconds back. That's my estimate. And he's come out, Sinead's come out behind 39 of Sinister. So we've only got 3 drivers left. Happy Face
Who
is in the
has not
pit serving
pitted?
it. So the Switcher and Oosby are left to serve their mandatory pit stop with only 3.5 minutes left for the pit window.
So if
Sinead.
Uzabi does it go in this lap, he will, I believe. Does that sound right?
I think so. Have a look.
For 3 minutes left.
I think Sinead, not Sinead, Oosby's not close enough to the line to be able to go one more lap before it closes.
Well, the pit window says it's open for 2 minutes and 50 seconds more, so he should be
Ah,
able to
he's
at
going
least
in.
make it. Oh, there he goes into the pits. So where is Sinead at now? He's at the top of the hill.
I think Sinead will take it back.
He just got past Sinister. I think, yeah, oh yeah, he's going to take it back. I just don't know by how much.
So he came out of the pits about 28 seconds behind Oosby, and that was when Oosby was about 9 seconds behind him.
Right.
So I reckon he'll potentially be around 7
Will
or
he
8
pit for
seconds
damage,
gap.
though, is what I'm wondering.
I wish we could see that. There you go, he stopped. There comes Sinead. You can hear him going past. Nope, Oosby's done. He's just done the pit stop and that's it.
Yep. Sinead's round turn 1. I think he definitely lowered the time deficit there. We've got another battle for 4th going on between Ackerman, Kelly, and Maverick. They're all within a second of each other right now.
I think Ackerman did pit for the damage. It doesn't make sense. I
don't see why he wouldn't.
Else. Yeah.
Almi's still out. He has not pitted yet, and he's on the main straight. He's not going to have time to get around and take a pit stop. He missed his pit window.
I think that will be a disqualification.
That makes sense. Yeah, he just completely missed his pit window. So he's probably going to be out, and just Shea will inherit 7th place. Falkenberg has ended up back behind Jachet, which is interesting to me. Did Falkenberg pit for damage as well? Because he made it. I believe he made it around Jachet, and
He
then
did, yeah.
when after pit, maybe I don't know. Did Falkenberg take tires or fuel? Because that's also an option.
I think if anything, I potentially would have been fuel. Would make the most sense.
Probably.
I'm so confused. Where's SL meter? Does get past 37, so that's Falzetti. He's gone past. And the pit
Yes.
window shuts in 8 seconds. I'm curious to know what's going to happen. If the game will ultimately give him a disqualification for that, or
Pit window is now closed.
Pit window's closed. He's
he's
still on
still
track.
yeah. I guess they've opted to not just disqualify immediately. It just means you have to then pit once it's closed.
Okay, well that'll be an interesting bit of knowledge for the rest of the drivers to know that your lap, if you cross the start finish line after, I'll bet if you cross the start finish line after the window closes is when the issue starts.
Probably that would make the most sense.
That would make a lot of sense.
Because it's the same thing with F1 in terms of doing a mandatory tyre compound change. You have to do it before you cross the line when the race finishes, so you can just do it in the pits.
Right. Back up front, it's a 7-second deficit, so Oosby did gain some time on that, but who's he having to get around right now? Is that Spinner? Sinister. He's gonna have to get around.
I think Sinister will fight this though. I don't think Sinister will give up so easily to that position. Although, yes, it is blue flag, it is also up to the faster car to make the move safely. I say that as Sinister goes to the inside. Okay, no, I thought he was about to back off there.
I thought he was too, but now he's going defensive into turn 1. Oh, he braked early. Okay, so he just let him by. That's probably the best move for him.
I mean, I'm happy because we'll have a fight between Oosby and Sinead, but also, damn it, I wanted to see Sinead win. I promise, I'm not being biased, but he's lost so many victories because Oosby's just stormed ahead.
It's hard to be unbiased when the drivers are your friends.
I'm not being a Michael Massey, but I do want to see a new driver on top.
It would be good to have a little bit of a mix up at the top of the podium, just because
I'd love to see. Go on.
I feel like it's really incredible what Oosby did last season, but at the same time, it's good to have a little bit of a roll of the dice every race as to who's going to win it.
Two things. One, I think S. Almeida has certainly gotten disqualified for this race because he's still not served that one mandatory pit stop in the pit window. So you have to serve it before the window shuts, otherwise you do not serve it at all.
Now, did he do a pit stop or did he do a drive-through?
I think he did a pit stop because I did watch him go into the box.
He did box, okay.
So now there's something interesting. I think S. Almeida, when he crosses the line, will then be disqualified, is my assumption. And then onto the second point. This sounds terrible, I know this now. It's going to be clipped and shipped to someone, probably like Maverick. But part of me kind of hopes for all the GT3s to have a massive failure of some kind. All of them have burst tyres and a GT4 wins the race ahead of the GT3s. That's what I really want to see. Realistically, that's never going to happen, but, one can hope.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
I've had a puncture, so I know punctures are true and real in this game.
Right. Ooh, Ackerman doing a dive on Kelly there. Not quite being able to make it stick. At some point, you need to look up the only time that a GT car has won the Daytona 24. Because it has happened.
Okay. Well, let's have it happen at Phoenix.
So it is possible for the lower class cars to win. Not easy, but possible. Looks like Shanae is maintaining that gap back to Oosby. It's 7.3 seconds, and I think that was about what it was a lap or two ago. I really think he's got a good shot at this.
I think he does, yeah.
Boscato maintaining third place. I guess after the pit stops, he got it back. And Maverick's 5 seconds behind him.
Kelly's catching up, and Ackerman's still stuck behind. Falkenberg also stuck behind Jachet. Let's have a
Again,
look.
after
Jachet did not
even
serve his. He didn't repair his damage.
Did he not?
No, he did
You're
not.
right. So he
I
must
think,
have not repaired the damage, and then Falkenberg must have taken fuel.
if
And now
anything,
he's
I reckon that's going to be like a good 20-second worth of damage stop there.
yeah, that would probably be quite a bit.
And
So
if he's
Falkenberg's
able
gonna have to find
to,
his way around him again
yeah, and
after doing so earlier.
if he's been able to manage it so far so well against Falkenberg, who's got a clean car, understandably so, I'm not going to fix that. I'll just continue defending.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I know from experience that if you're good at defending, then it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, but I would rather if I'm in the groove and with defending, I would rather just defend for most of the race than have to push my damaged car to pass people. And so if he could limit the time he's in the pits and still be able to defend, then it's definitely a definitely good strategy.
Here we go,
Falkenberg got a run
Falkenberg.
though. He's around the outside. Can he clear him? He's clear.
But he goes for the late braking.
Jachet breaks way late and makes it stick. Falkenberg's not able to maintain. I think
That
Falkenberg
was,
braked way too early there.
yeah. I think he was confident that he had the move done and that Jachet wouldn't make the move.
I'm honestly, I believe he was actually clear of his bumper. I'm surprised he didn't move into a defensive position up the inside. Going back to the Ackerman Kelly Maverick battle, those times have pretty much stayed the same. I think Kelly's gotten what 2/10 off of his deficit to Maverick. But that's about it, and he's having to defend really vigorously from Ackerman, so I don't think he's gonna gain too much time on him. And Boscato is just riding in a very comfortable third right now after qualifying. He qualified 5th, right?
Yeah, 5th. So very good jump up to 3rd for him for a podium. Online for a podium finish. Also to note, online for a podium finish of just BMWs only.
That is very interesting. The BMW's locked out 1st and 3rd rows, and now looks like they're going to be locking out the podium. And if Kelly is able to catch Maverick, maybe locking out the top 4 spots. Maverick's the only person that sits between BMW and a top 4 lockout. Oh, contact between Falkenberg and Jachet into turn 1. Little bumper bump there. Looks like no one's worse for wear. But Falkenberg seems to be getting very impatient here behind Jachet.
Do have 9 minutes remaining, so at where they are on the track, they're looking at around, what is that, 4 more laps? Maybe 5? No, 5
Probably
more
4
laps.
more. Oh, you're right. 5 more laps. Probably
5 and
maximum.
at a push 6, if they're lucky, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Everyone else is pretty much maintaining their position. Oh, Falkenberg around the outside into long left-hander, but not able to make it stick. Doesn't get a good run out of that, out of the right-hander downhill. This is honestly a much more vicious battle than what's going on up ahead of them.
Yeah, and another thing to note as well, like, other than one driver, I believe that is S. Almeida, we've got all of the cars still basically within the same sector of one another.
Yeah, they're all really close this race. Falkenberg going outside, he's got to run. How out on the brakes is he going to be? He's clear. Very late on the brakes. Oh, can he make it stick?
I think
He
he does.
does.
Beautiful
Beautiful
move.
move. That
Jinx.
is I can't buy you a Coke though.
No, I gotta say your name 3 times to release you. Technically.
Oh,
That's the rules I played with when I was younger.
the only one I heard was you have to buy him Coke.
Oh. Well, I mean, you
Or if
can,
it's
just, it'll take like several days to, deliver to me.
right. You just have to be silent for a couple days. I'm really not good at that. Maverick and that lot are in some deep lap traffic here, trying to get around Kevin, and who is that ahead of them?
Oh my god, Ackerman going for a move on Kelly,
Ackerman up
and
the
onto
inside.
Kevin, colliding into
Whoa.
Kevin.
That was a very ambitious move up the inside.
Yeah, he managed to make the move very cleanly on Kelly. Unfortunately, Kevin just got stuck in the middle of that fight.
He got hip-checked a little bit. Maverick out way wide there.
Yeah.
Back on his bumper. Got Sinister ahead of them.
This lap traffic is not helping Maverick or Kelly at all.
Spinner and Sinister both ahead of them.
Ah, Spinister. Over here all night.
Don't forget to tip your waitresses. Oh, Kelly runs way wide here. He's got
Sinister
a lot of
out
ground to
of
make up
the
now.
No, that's not Sinister. That's Spinner out of the way. Next will be Sinister. Who I don't think will fight this.
Neither of them have been fighting the lap traffic much.
I mean, although you can't fight them, you
racing.
can still defend, more or less.
Right. Well, or take the normal racing line.
Yeah.
But neither one has really opted to do that. Both giving way quite easily, which I tend to prefer as far as keeping the racing pure, staying out of their way. Ackerman trying to make something happen around the outside, just nothing there. Just Shea has fallen 3 seconds behind Falkenberg already. As soon as Falkenberg got around him, he just turned on the jets. This three-way battle for fourth now looks to be the only real battle on track here, and it currently is more like two-way.
Didn't manage to get past the McLaren there.
I
I say that as he goes down the inside. Ackerman all over that spoiler of McLaren's, Mavericks, Audi. I don't.
Oh, trying to make something happen there. Not quite. This is really good defensive driving from Maverick here. Catching up to Falzetti now. Maverick defends up the inside just a little bit. Maverick running a little bit wide there. Ackerman's not able to capitalize on any of this. Kelly is catching them rather quickly. He's caught them by about 3/10 in the last lap. Also up ahead, Uzbe's back to 7.5 seconds. I don't think he's really got a chance at catching Shanae, especially now that we've got 3 minutes left. Looks like Shanae, all he has to do is
Keep it clean.
clean, maintain. Kelly's back up to the back bumper of Ackerman. So they're now back to 3. Not 3 wide, but
3 long
battle,
drain.
so three-way battle for 4th. Just not a lot of passing opportunities on this track. We've seen some really impressive dives, both in
It does make for
turn
some
1 and
really
turn
good
2.
trains like this, though. So
It does. And anyone who's just slightly impatient or feeling a little brave can try a move like Ackerman did. And if you're good enough, you can make it stick.
now we've got 2 minutes left. Shanae's crossed the line, so we've got 1 more lap, 2 more laps left of this race. I
Right.
am very curious to know what's going to happen to S. Almeida.
Me too.
I don't expect anything drastic like it's given 30 seconds penalty. If anything, it'll be a disqualification. But
Right.
I
feel
don't
like it'll
know if
probably be a
they've set that
disqualification.
up. It'll be interesting to see if they have set that up.
Yeah, I don't know what the penalty is for that. Ackerman tried to make it happen on the inside there, but just couldn't make it
Ackerman's
stick.
real close.
They're all very close.
Oh,
Mavericks
I thought they were going to have a collision there.
Kelly's trying to take advantage. Ackerman on the outside, Kelly on the inside. Can Kelly make it stick? He cannot. Man, they are all so close right now.
I would hate to be one of them. I am very impatient when it comes to ACC.
I am not that impatient, but I get extremely nervous, and I would definitely crash into somebody.
Oh, Kelly making the move.
Kelly,
Oh, there's a collision between the 2 drivers.
Contact.
Still colliding.
Both of them. Both of them sliding. Looks like they're able to make it. Able to keep the cars just going straight. But Ackerman loses out badly on that one.
And Boscato with a drive-through.
Whoa! What did he? Has he cut the course?
I think he might have cut the corner. Maybe does track limits give that to you?
Yeah, I believe if you have enough track limit.
Then potentially that. So Maverick's now
Violations.
on course for
potential-
3rd place.
If he can keep Kelly behind him for one more lap.
I don't think he can though. Kelly's looking for a move again.
Oh, he is so hungry right now.
Leaders on final lap now.
I don't know. Maverick's been defending
There's-
really well.
He's not going for the drive-through. Oh no, he is. He is. Okay, here it is.
Okay. Oh, Ackerman up the inside of Kelly again. Too wide through.
Could Ackerman find himself
the
up on the podium?
Oh, almost.
Oh, they've collided again. What is going on between these two?
Again.
And they've collided. Oh no!
Both of them into the wall. Kelly all the way around.
What is happening? Some of our cleanest drivers have been involved in more incidents than the entire grid, excluding lap 1.
Wow.
And now Maverick will find himself to cross the line with the podium, with a 3rd place.
He's 5 seconds clear. He's got a clear shot to a podium this race. The amazing thing to me was how far back Falkenberg was, because as soon as they collided and hit the wall, I was afraid. Well, I shouldn't say afraid. I figured 7th might be able to take advantage, but Falkenberg is like a half a lap back, so he wasn't able to even think about taking advantage of that.
In fact, I think Falkenberg's he's on the cusp of getting lapped by Shanae if he doesn't pick up his pace in this final corner.
He is, yeah.
Let's go over to Shanae, who's had a stellar qualifying, 5/1000ths ahead of Uzbe, manages to maintain his lap and keep clear of all of the carnage, and now crosses the line with his first victory of the season.
The only laps he did not lead were when he pitted and Uzbe didn't.
He did indeed.
absolute masterclass from Shanae today.
Oosby, second place, great recovery drive from that
Absolutely
incident.
incredible recovery. 7 seconds
Joshay.
back. That's really, really impressive drive there.
There's a stopped car on the track. There's a spinner stopped on the side of the track. Unfortunately, Spinner will find himself now gone down to, I think, 11th or 12th, no, 11th potentially, and S. Almeida might find himself, assuming he doesn't
Oh
get
no.
disqualified. Ooh, we've got ourselves a three-way cruise drive by our... Oh, okay, Joshay's not going to stick with the group. Maverick crosses the line, he takes third place. Ackerman across the line, fourth place. Boscato. We need to work out how to pronounce that name properly. Boscato with fifth. Very unfortunate not to see a BMW podium finish. But still...
BMW's actually finished.
Oh, hold on.
Almost.
I think we're about to have a nice cruise from all of the drivers.
I think we are. I just realized this. Didn't all 4 BMWs finish in the exact same places that they all started?
I think they did.
Because I believe Boscato was 5th, Kelly was 6th, and then Shanae had the pole.
Oh. Well, now we get to enjoy a nice Sunday cruise around, Saturday cruise around Hungaroring. Who's that coming up behind? Oh, looks like a GT4. That's, I think, Andrea Falzetti.
Yeah.
Shanae, our race winner. Oosby. Honestly, the Oosby's incredibly quick, and I hate how quick he is because he's able to make comebacks like he did today. Maverick with a podium finish, with unfortunately being at the downfall of Boscato, getting a drive-through at the end. Shanae with some nice drifts, thank you very much.
Very unfortunate for Boscato. He had that podium.
And Spinner, what
Locked
happened to
up.
Spinner? He's just sitting there on the side of the track.
I'm
And
not sure. That's
someone's
very odd.
just
He's
gone...
the only one that hasn't finished.
I just went to go see Valkenburg, and Valkenburg's just drifting down the third corner, as one does.
That's what you do, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Lovely.
Really
cool
impressive
down
race today. Awesome start to the new season. I cannot wait to see more battles between Shanae and Oosby.
I can hear the cars doing something, but I can't see what. Oh, they're doing donuts.
Ah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. It was only showing me Spinner on the side of the road and nothing else.
Ah.
Wow. And S. Almeida finishes the race in his position, I think. It doesn't look like he got disqualified.
I don't believe he did.
That was one hell of a race. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, though. I think my neighbour's cutting their lawn, so you might hear that. Let's get Vin in here. Vin did say in the briefing he'd like to do an interview, even if he doesn't win the race. So let's get Vin in here, because who doesn't want to talk to Vin? Vin, hello.
Hello.
How was that race for you?
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. GT3 is so fun. It's incredible.
So I have a question for you. You ended up behind Joshay at the start of the race. You passed him, then you both pitted, and then you ended up back behind him. Did you pit for fuel that time?
Yeah, I was on half fuel at the beginning, and then I fueled up the other half at my pit stop, and he didn't do anything. He just did a ghost pit stop, and that's why I was behind him.
Okay. What was your take on that? Do you think that's a good option, or would you do full fuel next time?
I think if we have a pit stop, then we can use it for that. I don't think the 11 seconds are that bad. I think I'll have to decide race to race if I want to do it. I mean, I think in Spa I won't do it because I can't be bothered to go through the pit lane and then wait 11 seconds. So yeah, I'll just see what I do, because we all know the Spa pit lane is like long as hell.
Right. Well, I'm very interested to see which strategy really takes hold over the next season.
Yeah, it'll probably be very mixed through. There were a lot of people who did it, and some who also a lot who didn't. So it's gonna be an interesting take.
This was a fantastic race. Both of your passes on Joshay were really masterclass.
Yeah, it was very fun fighting with him. He's pretty clean. Although also it's very tricky to drive around him because he's such a good defender. Like you want to go through that gap and then he closes it, and then you want to go around there, and then he's also on the inside and you can't go around. I tried a switchback once. It was very close. Um, But he also defended that pretty well. So kudos to him. He's very good. He was just dragged back by damage today. I think he would have been a bit
Yeah.
faster than me if he didn't have damage. But because of the damage, we had some very nice racing. And yeah, looking forward to have some more of that in GT3.
But we're looking forward to commentating it.
You looking
Yeah.
forward to where is the next race?
Was
Yeah,
it
Spa.
Brands
Heavy
Hatch?
rain, Spa. I've only just noticed
Oh,
the heavy rain.
It's Spa already? It's Spa already?
Yeah, it's Spa, then Brands Hatch.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be interesting. I heard the Ferrari is good around Spa because Spa has some very flat curbs, and the Ferrari doesn't like curbs.
Yes.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I like rain driving normally. Just have to see how it goes in the Ferrari. It's a good car.
Oh, it definitely
You
is a
seem to
good
be-
car.
You seem to be doing quite well for yourself in it, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, better than I expected. I think about a second faster than what I was originally expecting. So bit of an outperformance of myself. Of course, I'm not a front runner. I'm more of a midfield driver. But for that, I think I am pretty okay.
Well, thank
Well,
you. Sorry, go on.
Well, seventh place finish behind Kelly is definitely nothing to mock. So fantastic drive.
Yep. Bit unfortunate for our team because Konos couldn't start because his game crashed, or I think his internet. He was just disconnected. So no GT4 points for our team, and Altos also struggled a bit. So only P4 for him. But we'll bounce back next time. We're Team Rocket. We can always use our rocket mode if we have to. Today we didn't use it, but when we need it, we can use it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Vin. We look forward to interviewing you again next week. I'm hoping for a Vin up on there on the podium. No pressure,
I can't promise anything, but I can try.
but we will certainly see you next week.
Yep.
Well, that was definitely a. I want to say thrilling, but there wasn't very many overtakes to make it as thrilling as I was hoping for. But we got enough overtakes considering it's Hungary, so I'm happy.
I think the battles we got, considering it is Hungary, I think battles we got were pretty fantastic.
They were. I think before we close it out for the stream, I want to show off that livery reveal for Team Rocket. Very unfortunate that James, wasn't there to finish the race. Ackerman, very close, managed to fight his way back up, but didn't get that podium finish. And then obviously, as Vin just mentioned, he got, what was it? I think it was 7th place. So still good points for Team Rocket.
Definitely.
And I think Ackerman's put in a lot of time and effort in that trailer. I certainly want to show it off. So we will close the stream out with watching the trailer. But yeah, we will see you guys next week. I look forward to commentating with you again next week, JK. Because I certainly could not do half of the stuff that you were talking about because I don't know ACC as well as you do.
I try.
But yeah, until next time, the trailer.
A chill breeze breaks across the warm day of Hungary. The lone Porsche driver practicing for his next big race. Steady pace marks the course. This driver is well experienced, especially on this track. Heading through into turn 2. While the driver's focus is entirely devoted to their driving, the trees care no mind to the passing car as the hum of its engine buzzes by. The shade of turn 5 makes for a fun spot to watch the free practice. But this driver is not alone. They're joined soon by the KTM Expo, their teammate, Konos. Then still, that leaves one last driver for the Team Rocket trio. Vin Falkenberg in the Ferrari 488 Evo. The track is made significantly more lively with 3 cars circling it. Coming onto the straightaway, the Ferrari is getting ready to take off. The roar of engines brings us closer to the Team Rocket headquarters. The moon, of course. And as we approach the celestial body, the trio of Team Rocket prepare to land, where they will discuss strategy and drive around, experimenting with their new setups. These drivers are all trying something new. Ackerman driving a Porsche, a rear-engine, unstable car. Konos moving from a GT3 down to a GT4, a very understeery car. And Vin Falkenberg moving from GT4 to the more unstable, quick GT3. All these cars built with Team Rocket engines, bearing Team Rocket liveries. But we can draw away from that. We have work to do, a race to run, and a season to win. See you on Earth for the first round in Hungary.